Welcome back, everybody, to Behind the Grind episode 13. Now, we're actually stepping back a little bit further behind into the grind in this episode. One thing was like a little bit of like kind of a call it like a self-advertisement, self-promo, but honestly, this has just been awesome lately, yo. I can't thank y'all enough. The Discord has been popping off. We're at like 35 members, we have like 105 on the channel, 104 on the channel. We have 35 members in here. That's an incredible ratio. But everyone's been super cool, super talkative lately. We actually have this new section, which I am trying to promote, and I'm very thankful for everyone who's allowed me to incorporate them into it. But we're doing roles now. So if your name is in pink like mine, or tell your dog I said hi, which is the only other person who I have dedicated to the poker coaching section. We are basically the two people right now who are giving the most advice, so that's why we have that. If you want to come in here and be a poker coach, we would love to have you. Names in blue are sometimes kind of coaching, sometimes asking for advice, and then the names in green are usually newer players who are mostly asking for advice. But of course, anyone can give advice or ask for advice at any point in time. It's just like a general organization. But it's been really dope. We have a great, general topic section. We actually are doing a topic of the day, so yesterday's topic of the day was talking about bankroll and bankroll management and like how to actually, like a little bit more, also behind the grind kind of how to structure your finances literally so that you can actually go forward and play the game that we play. And shout out to, once again, tell your dog I said hi. They had a great story about their bankroll management and their growth earlier in their career, and so we started that yesterday. I'll post another topic today. I haven't decided what I want to do yet. I figured I'll actually play this session first. I'll let the cards come to me, go with the flow as I like to, and then we'll pick a topic from one of the random things that I end up thinking about a lot today. But that is about it. Of course, you can share your hand histories here. We do hand history analysis quite a bit. We share our poker content here as well as other content too, like not just our own, but if we find videos from other players that we find are very interesting, sharing your poker goals is a great way to kind of just put it out into the world. For me personally, just so you guys can read, like my 2026 poker goals, where I wanted to, if Club Dub, we didn't know at the time if it was going to stay functional in California, but I want to put in at least 200k hands on the site. So far, I'm like a little bit behind. I'm at about 6k ish hands, about 5,800 ish. I don't know. But I will, get to grinding. But really, what it is because, and I said I want to play at least 50 hours a month live, but that I'm above. I'm above expectation on that. So, or I'm above like on my rate on that. So that's why I've been falling behind a little bit on the live, because I am playing more. I'm sorry, I fell behind a little bit online because I'm playing a little more live. But what I really wanted to do, the reason why I don't even have Club Dub open at the moment, is I actually, in addition to want to talk about the Discord, like please join the Discord if you haven't. It's an amazing place. Thank you all for being here who have made it amazing. But I kind of wanted to hop into GTO Wizard and maybe do a little. I like doing the playing against the bot to just like warm my brain up. Sometimes we talk on this series about how I'll play micro stakes, and of course I'm in a micro stakes challenge right now. But when I say micro, NL40 is like a lot closer to small stakes than NL2. And like sometimes even say I haven't played poker in a few days, I'll play some NL2. I don't care. Or NL20 or slash NL10 is always if in a micro stakes challenge, that's like kind of like a bread and butter stake. Like I have made 50 buy-ins from NL10 before in a very short period of time. So you can definitely do that just from that limit if you want. But instead of doing that, what we're going to do is, because this is actually funny. I don't know why I was doing this last night, because this is like the hardest of the hard. 6 max online NL500, with like rake and such style with post-flop solutions. Like that's why I was trying to do this, because even though this isn't what I play right now, I play more live 8 max with higher rake, but that doesn't give you post flop. So what I'm trying to do is, I'll adjust accordingly. Of course, I'm not going to do everything exactly here that I would do there. And of course, this is GTO, so I wouldn't even try to. This is trying to figure out what is going to be the proper play in the GTO world. But, 6 max NL500, like this is for all intents and purposes, like where some of the best players in the world are made. Like this is like where they grind it out. So like if you can understand this game's format specifically, even though it's just 2 blind, no straddle, no ante, no nothing, if you can understand this game, you can do pretty well in poker. And this does give you post flop, so that's why I like to mess with this a little bit. So let's play this for maybe 5-10 minutes, and then we will hop into some actual Club Dub poker. So in this instance, we raise 2.5 on the button. We get 3-bet by the SB. This is either a call or a fold. I want to guess it's a call, but I could see fold being the case, though. Okay, so we call 8.5, but I bet that we fold the other 12.5% of the time. I mean, maybe we 4-bet some percent, but here we have to call once at least. What's the option on the turn? Check or bet, check or bet. They check, we check back, obviously. River bet. Oh my god, this sucks. What, they bet 18? I think we have to call, right? Yeah, we have to call against ace queen. Okay, so but pre-flop they prefer a fold, yes. Or you could I was gonna say that's like it's probably not a pure fold. It probably is a 4-bet some of the time because ace and 10 does block very nicely. Very nice for 4-betting. So I am a little bit like what's the word? I should have thought of it. My brain only went to fold or call. I did not think about 4-betting here. I really was going more like because the main reason too is because I know the small blind super wide here. When the small blind super wide here, you just kind of have to assume that you're going to want to like take the value of your hand more often than you're going to want to use the blocker effect of your hand in 4-bet. Take the value via calling, use the blocker effect via 4-betting. That's kind of where my brain went, but it's all good. And you're going to hear me talk about a lot of stuff doing this that I don't talk about when I'm playing on Club Dub because this is, once again, we're trying to be in GTO world. Easy fold here. But bro, on Club Dub, like you can easily flat some players here with the 3-2 suited. It's so funny how different this whole thing is here because in this world, in this realm that we're in right now, this dimension, you have to assume that everyone is playing GTO / perfectly. You have to assume that everything is kind of like up to code. And all right, now this is a pure... This is probably not a pure fold, but like maybe you 4-bet a little bit, but probably a pure fold. Let me just see real quick. Yeah, it's a pure fold. It's a... No, but after that. Oh, no, you do 4-bet 14%. Okay, that's cool. Pardon me, I've got a... I guess I got a little frog in my throat right now. I haven't recorded in a couple days. All right, we are going... Okay, so hold on a sec. So he goes 2. This is like so disgusting. And this is why like GTO World is crazy. This is a fold, bro. And I hate that. This is a fold, bro. And I hate that so much, bro. Because like, how is this not a call? 2 BB on the button, but you're going to get 3-bet enough. Then they're going to 4-bet enough that you can't actually call her, which is crazy. I guess you can call half the time. Cool. At least GTO lets you call some of the time. But see, it still gives fold a double check mark, though. 53% of the time, it still wants you to fold. But like that right there, even GTO has to admit, all right, bro, you're getting a damn good price. You're getting a damn good situation, and you're on the button. So even they got to admit you can call some of the time, but they're only giving it 0 EV. They're still giving it 0 EV. So while they're like in Club Dub, dude, that's a slam dunk massive plus EV call. You're playing live poker. You're gonna make so much money off of pocket threes versus a min raise on the button with nobody left to act except for the 2 blinds and the 1 raiser. Like that is such a good situation to be in because A, you're in position, you can win the pot without even hitting the set. Like ace 7 deuce flop, they check to you, you bet, they fold. Like they miss with king 10 and they don't want to see bet out of position. And that's just like, and you can tell too a lot of times like people will go like, this is a cautious, this person may have it here. This hand's the felt. This person may have an ace. This person has king 10 offsuit. So when they do this, then you can bet with your pocket threes, okay? So that's just like the isms between this world of GTO and where the reality actually lies. Like you're never, ever, ever folding those threes in the real world, dude. Like ever, ever, ever. I don't even care how squeezy the player is behind you. Like they have to be squeezing every single hand here. I think this is just a pure fold, but this might start falling into the 3-bet range because of blocking. Let's put in the 3-bet. No. It said no. Pure fucking fold. Pure fucking fold. It's funny too because now it's making me play post flop because it's like, all right, you put yourself in this situation. We check here, and it gives you the blue check mark when it's like, bro, I don't know. You put yourself in this situation. Like I don't know what to do here because I wouldn't 3-bet here. And it's like that's fine. That's fine. It would have just folded pure pre, I'm sure. We block ace queen. We block ace jack. We don't block ace king. They check twice though. I actually think we can call here, bro. I actually think we can call here. Despite it being a, them betting like 133. they wanted to max punish us for our mistake pre-flop. They wanted to max punish us. Oh, how nice is it to lose that hand in the solver and not for real money? Okay, pure fold pre-flop, of course. But it's hard to know, like when does it start drawing the line without like really studying the ranges. My guess, if we wanted to actually, I can't go back, but you know what I can do is I can just click the study button. Excuse me, sorry. I apologize for those. I usually do get my mic muted when I try to clear my throat. But so when I think it was hijack, sorry, fold here. I think hijack opened, and I think we were cut off. What is our 3-betting percent? Or what's our 3-betting range? So we had queen jack offsuit, which is not even a play. It's just a pure fold, obviously. But like I like to see like where the line is. So king queen offsuit, we could have 3-bet. King, queen off, we could have 3-bet. Like, healthily as well, like about 40... Here, click on it real quick, and about 45%, 46%, we can 3-bet. That's good. You know, we can actually call, too, about 5%, 4.5, so we're literally... We can play over 50% of our king, queen offsuits. We just can't play any of our queen, jack offsuits, which is just interesting. But yeah, a lot of suited aces. Pocket pairs, okay. Suited Broadway, suited king nines. See, king nine suited is always such a funny hand for me. You know, as a kind of like almost like a new poker player, that's like the first hand that you kind of like learn to like be wary of, given that like, you know, it's so kind of like just beaten up by ace king and other kings. Like it's really very it's never doing very well when it hits a big hand, you know, unless it's like 9-9x, like then you're like, okay, at least like now I have like the second best kicker. But short of that, you're like really not thrilled about your position very frequently. So I'm surprised that like the solver likes it, but because like if it showed me king 9 suited was a fold, and then king 5 suited or king 6 suited was like the actual play, that would be totally like understandable in solver world, because reverse implied odds on the king 9 suited, but like you're getting board coverage with say like king 6 suited. You can block ace 5 suited with king 5 suited, and people play ace 5 suited a lot these days. You can like whenever you're in the solver, you see ace 5 suited is like a pure play. So I think blocking that has to have some value. And the 6 suited is nice to have the top end of the wheel value. So like when they're playing the 5 for the wheel and you can play the 6, like that's top tier. So I can see these two hands being played and this one not being played, but like in this current configuration, it's not like shocking, because you know it's just the typical arrow. It's the arrow up to the left, and like that's kind of how all you know, ranges should look effectively. You know, I mean, it's every hand range that you raise starts with aces, because obviously then it goes to kings, then queens, and ace king suited or jacks, or however you want to do it. But it's always that arrow pointing up to the, you know, left like that. So whenever it starts to break apart and the bottom ends, and it's deciding which hands are going to fit into this, you know, very short, small 9% range, 9.6%, 128 combos, that's like always interesting for me to see what are the fringe hands, you know, which hands is it choosing and why. All right, so I think if we close this out, we can go right back to the bot. All right, we'll do this for like maybe another 2 minutes, because we've been behind the grinding quite a bit already, and I would like to get into some tables. All right, one sec. Sorry, I don't know if it's because I have a dry throat or what it is, but as soon as I started yapping, I am having trouble talking enough. I kind of sneeze too. But behind the grind, y'all, sorry, I don't edit my videos for this, because it is literally this. I'm showing you every moment of what I do, of what it's like to take a slice out of a poker player's life, to take a slice out of a poker player's day. And quick aside from that, I actually have been recording a little bit more on my iPhone, and I got a really nice wireless microphone, a couple microphones actually. So maybe you'll see me do some more IRL and vlog type stuff as well. But we are going to jump directly in from this to grinding, so hopefully you guys can appreciate the brief aside before we get into, you know, the true hands. 2.5, this is a hand that you could 3, but I think it's a pure fold. I think it's a pure fold. 100% or... Yep, pure fold, okay. But that's one of those qualifying hands, given, you know, what we were literally just talking about with suited king. King 7 doesn't quite have the coverage, because people play, like I said, the 5 a lot more, and the 5 is going for the wheel, the 6 covers the wheel. So it's just like a natural progression of which king you would use. All right, we can't even call here. That sucks. Wow, we have like such a like, because you can call so wide right here. Like literally, like the amount of, I mean, you're playing like 85% of hands here. Really, to 3x? Wow. Okay, that's surprising. You're only playing 58% of hands here. I would have called with like so GTO world, I guess, but like I'm queen 7 off, queen 6 off, king 5. No, I'm not folding any queens. I'm not folding any kings. And like none of these connecting type hands either. None of the smaller, like 8-5 offsuit, no. 7-5 off, no. 8, like any hand that can flop a straight, absolutely not. 6-4 off, no. I'm not folding any of those hands. But this is GTO world, not, you know, I can outplay, especially for 150 BB. Hell no. But that's just fair enough, honestly. All right, let's do a couple more. So 6.5. Oh, sorry. We go min. He goes 6.5. Now we're debating between call or 4-bet. Both honestly have merit here, but I think this is one of those spots where you were literally either under repping or over repping. And you know what I've noticed? Like, this is really funny. Like, I always thought I was a nitty ass motherfucking nit, which I am, but so is the fucking solver, dude. So is the solver. The solver really likes to under rep. No, I wanted 4-bet. Okay. it really likes to often underrep. Like, now that guy made it so small that I can see the 4-bet being the play. I really can. Like, that makes a lot more sense. But because of the positions, though. Oops. No. Okay, cool. Sorry, I hit back and then forward. Because of the positions, I could also see it not wanting me to overrepresent the ace king. Because, of course, once you 4-bet there, you have to call it off. Can we call here? Backdoors, double. Yes, no, yes, okay. Feels like a call. We check. Beth, now we have to fold, obviously. But pre-flop, I'm guessing that it's going to go with a... What? It wanted pure jam? Wouldn't have guessed that. Yo, oh no, this is your play, bro. This is your play. But low-key, like, you know, I don't hate stuff like this. I just hate it because it's, like, so crude, you know? Like, where's the poker, man? We're just jamming ace king because we have an equitable advantage and dead money in the pot? Like, all right. I mean, like, to me, that raise 18 is, like, the clear raise size when you do play back at them, you know? Like, it's almost like the perfect number, literally. Because, like, normally, like, a 3x 4-bet is, like, big, but because they made their 3-bet so small, because we made our open so small, you know, like, now we can really beef it up, you know, get, like, a reasonable SPR, play a 2-street hand, go from there. But it jams 78% of the time. You know what's kind of funny? Look at this. This is actually very unique. I don't think I've seen this before. Doug Polk would fucking love this shit right here, dude. Both call, 4-bet, and raise are all the exact same EV. Now, normally, of course, his would be the fold, call, and raise are all the same play. But no, I mean, call, 4-bet normal, and jam is, like, different enough that I think that he would still enjoy this. 2.42 for each option. That's very, very interesting. Very interesting. I think this is the perfect hand to end on for the GTO robotic section of it, because it's just something that I don't want to say never. I would have done this shit when I'm, like, tilted, basically. When I'm like, fuck it, I don't want to think about poker right now, you know? Like, and I know that I'm not losing money, basically. Because, like, I know you can do this shit and you don't lose money. But I didn't think you could do it and it was, like, the preferred play. Dude, just 4-bet normal. Just 4-bet normal. Don't do this shit. Like, trust me, dude. When you 4-bet, don't do this shit. Just 4-bet normal. Like, because A, no one's playing perfect GTO world, yada yada. Like, and people are gonna make way more mistakes to the 4-bet normal. They're gonna call with this shit right here. They're gonna call with this shit when you make it 18. So, like, don't do this, even though the bot's telling you to. Like, that's not cool. It's just. You're never going to be against an opponent who's, like, so perfect that you're going to want to do this. You're pretty much going to always want to either call or raise, I would say. You want to call against the nits who are like, holy shit, dude, I can't believe they just 3-bet my under the gun open, basically. And you're going to want to 4-bet the people who actually play poker. So it's so shocking, though, and so cool to see what the bot does in bot world. I love it personally, so I hope you guys are enjoying this part. Let's jump over to some ClubWPT. What up, Setsuna and the Gundam Exia? My background change for 2026. One of my favorite anime was Gundam 00. Rewatched it probably like 7 times now. But it's just, like, clear, concise, to the point. Boom, boom, boom. Action from day one. It's on Hulu. If you haven't seen it, go grab it. All right, let's just jump into some 40, because I feel like we've been pretty, you know. I have to. Okay, 2 things. One, my notes. I had notes earlier that I added to my note thing, which is basically, here, I'll put it right here. Go with your gut. Adjust it later. We're looking for more spots to apply pressure to capped ranges. Don't just check and risk it when you can bet big and win. And what I mean by that is, like, say you're on the end, say you're on the river. I don't know, it's like, say a hand goes, like, someone raises pre, you call, and then, like, the flop goes check call. Then the turn goes check check. And when they go check check, it's like they're super capped. On the river, like, a whatever card comes doesn't really change it too much. Just overbet that shit, or, like, go for a big check raise or do something crazy. Just don't let them check back or win the hand with, like, you know, medium pair against your worst medium pair, or, like, overcards or something. You know, like, when their hand is capped, like, I gotta start using my, like, instincts and applying a lot more pressure. And in those instances, if you do get looked up and people say that line doesn't make sense, yada yada, whatever, you can do it later for value, all good. Conversely, we're trying to do the exact same thing against people trying to do that shit to us, basically, and, like, try to pick those bluffs off and just, like, try to really feel it. You know, like, still trying to fold more rivers. Like, I've been doing very good a job at that, but, like, in doing a good job at that, I know I'm overfolding now rivers too. So I still have to, like, just, for lack of a better term, play some poker and figure out when people really are actually wide. And I have some stuff to say about that later, but I want to get into the hands first because I know we've been talking a lot. And then total stats are good. Okay, this is a big one. This is a really big one that I'll talk about while I'm actually doing two things. I want to, I need to just log in my time that I enter, which is going to be, today's the 14th. I did not play yesterday. Took a day off. It's always important to take a little breather. I've been playing so much. We're in at 13:16. We don't know when we're going to be out yet. 13:16. Why is my thing not working? That's fine. Sometimes it just doesn't work. All right. And we don't know when we'll be out yet, but I do like to keep my notes up just so I can refer to them if I need. Oh yeah, my whole internet's just working funky right now. Okay. Cool. Maybe I clicked on the wrong thing. All good. And by internet I meant web browser. Hopefully the games are good. It looks like our tables are pretty full right now and we want to play 40. So what we're going to do is implement our table starting strategy. Oh yeah, quickly, in case you guys haven't seen, we are at 46.67 and we are trying to get to 5K. Bill's Mafia. Oof. All right, man, you're lucky I'm not taking you just direct right, but I will play you heads up. Absolutely. Absolutely. Min raise button is good. Flats. Beautiful board. Backdoors all around, plus we actually probably have the best hand. So we're going to try to do this a couple times over, I would say, to try to get our 4 tables going. Snap call. Snap check snap call. Check react. Smells like value. Smells like value. We can fold. Actually, you know, here we're gonna do. We're gonna give it a second, and then we're gonna fold. Like, let these players come in. Yeah, there you go. Let one more player come in. There you go. Perfect. All right, we will start another table now. Beautiful. Smelled like value. Half pot on the turn is almost like scarier than betting larger. Check stratosphere. We'll say hello to everybody. We'll tell them hello, folks. We are here. It is always important to tell people that you're here and remind people that you're here if you have not for a while. All right, do we want position over here? Do we want position on here? Well, that answers that. Plus, I think I was going to lean towards the seat anyway. Basically, like, what we're looking at is this guy is 3 seats to our right, but he's a bigger fish. This guy is 2 seats to our right. He's a big fish, but doesn't have a lot of money. The person who we were going to take the position on isn't as big of a fish, but has more money, and we can get direct position on them. So it's like, it really is very close when you are factoring in all of the benefits and detriments of like who is where in relation to your position and like their, you know, fishiness, their stats, and the amount of money you can actually win from them. I actually want to go grab a stick of gum because here, one thing, I'm gonna chug this protein shake, grab a stick of gum, and then hopefully I don't have to cough every 5 minutes because I guess my throat's very dry. And I'm playing a lot of live poker. I've been feeling a little scratchy throat, you know. You pick up literally everything when you are playing live, but honestly, and it's such a weird thing to say, but I don't even really mind getting like a little bit sick because it's kind of like I always feel like, all right, man, antibodies, just like get in there and, you know, keep me strong. Whatever doesn't kill me makes me stronger. So as long as I don't die, then I should be good. As gross as it is, but like that's kind of how you have to progress as a human, you know, like in this germ infested world. All right, one second, let me chug this. And where's my bag? My bag's right over there. I'm gonna go grab my gum out of my bag. One sec. All right, and let's find. Let's what was I gonna say? 2 more tables. King Sure from I think min raise is fine, acceptable. Get myself mixed up with these players a little bit. That's like really a very professional reason to play a hand, right? I mean, watch the rest of my content, guys, just to understand. You know, I feel like I have an equitable advantage against their range when they call. I also feel like I can outplay post flop in most scenarios. I also don't think that I am going to pay off in a reverse implied odd situation. So all the professional shit is there. Trust me, it's behind the scenes. I'm just honestly not like winded or tired or anything, but like I did take yesterday off, and I'm just kind of getting back into it. So forgive me if my reasons and my logic are not flowing with you know, as much finesse as I can possibly dictate in real time. But that is truly the point of Behind the Grind, because when people make post edited content, it's like, okay, I mean, that's fantastic, bro. If you have like 24 hours to think about the analysis of your hand after you played it, that's beautiful for you, and that's beautiful for your teaching, your booking, your whatever that you're trying to sell everybody. But that doesn't do shit for the person who's trying to play a hand in the moment, you know, who only has 5-10 seconds to think. Real quick, that reminds me of something. You know, I should make like a every, you know, once a week I should make, you know, what I've seen on Reddit, because man, there's so much shit that we see on Reddit that is could be a conversation point. Oh god, dude, 12%. No. If you had a 21%, yeah, for sure, but no, not the 12%. Although, like, if they were ever gonna fold, like, this would be like a great hand to do it with, though. Great hand to do it with. But this one person was saying something along the lines of they emailed Club Dub to see how much they had spent in time banks and hand reveals. And it's like, okay, so those are two completely different things, basically. But like, they wanted to know like the finances of it, and they were also asking for their hand histories, and they're like, oh, we don't do that yet. And they were basically asking people to request that just to see if more people would, you know, volume wise, like if it would help push it along, which I think is actually a very good idea. I think that is very smart, and I actually should do that myself. You know, email Club Dub support, be like, hey, can I get my hand histories, just to, you know, pretend like I want them, and they're like, oh, we're working on it. That's what he said. That's what he said. They said is that they're working on it. But to start off with the hand reveal is like a busted, goated feature that like just shouldn't literally exist, you know. And if it just shouldn't exist. That's all I can really say. So when people use it and they spend money on it, it's like, yeah, obviously people are gonna spend money on seeing the hands. You know, if someone bets huge on the river, and you could either do one of two things: pay 2 big blinds to see, or pay your whole stack to see. When you, especially when you don't really think you're good, you pay the 2 big blinds, obviously. You know, everyone does it. You'd be dumb not to, honestly. I just, it's just a weird feature that shouldn't exist. Like, so I don't really know how to even talk about it, truly. It's like borderline unethical, yet I use it and advocate using it as well, because like everyone's going to use it. You kind of have to, and it's just so unbelievably powerful. Like, that's really all it boils down to. Like, that's why it shouldn't exist, is because it's just too good. It's too good. So, and especially because, you know, it does get a little more expensive the more you use it. But just one hand reveal against one bad player is all you need to learn exactly what the hell they're doing. You know, like you see them bet one crazy wild bet. And the thing that is so stupid to me about it, an easy fix to underpower it a little bit, is they don't even tell you when the person clicks hand reveal. Like, everyone should be notified when someone pays to reveal the hand. You should know when someone knows what they just saw. Like that, like, so not only do you get to see their cards, but it's like you get to see and they don't know. That's so unbelievably powerful that like I don't even, yeah, I don't even like talking about it, because it's just too good. And you really should, like, the time to do it is just those instances when someone bets like crazy, when say you have like top pair no kicker, and you're like, man, am I good here, or are they really, like, did they just turn like the best hand ever? You know, you click it and then they have absolutely nothing, and you're like, oh, okay. And then the next time you simply don't give them any respect and you stack them. You spend 2 big blinds, one hand, then 2 orbits later you get their whole stack, and it's like, that shit's just too powerful. Should not exist. Whatever. So all I can say with that, reasonable, I get it, people spend money on that. The time banks, though, the time banks, please, like, I didn't think this would even need to be a topic of discussion. Please don't tell me y'all out here spending money on the time banks. Hell to the fuck no, bro. H to the FN. You cannot be out here spending money on time banks. If you're spending money on time banks, you're doing, there's literally 2 things that are apparent. You're playing too many tables, and you don't know enough about poker. All right, so cut down on the tables. And if you're playing 1 table and you're still time banking, then, oh, this is like literally aces like every time, and it's not even funny. But do I have the odds to call against aces? That's the question. I think we do, because they made it so small and we have so many people in the pot. I think we do. But I don't think we're gonna have, oh my god, dude, are they literally giving us odds to hit 2 pair? Or are they just tripping, bro? See, this is one of those hands. This is one of those hands that you'd want to check. Okay, now king queen isn't even good. No, king queen isn't even good. Literally, did I speak this shit into existence? Did I speak this shit into existence, bro? He is a 52 something or other, 5230 something, 5223. But like, so if this didn't happen, like we didn't get to see his aces right here, I cannot fucking believe his king queen as well. That's so wild, dude. We would have clicked it to see king queen. We've got folded off the chop, basically, you know, between him. Obviously, we would have lost to him the way that the hand played out. I mean, like that, the way the hand played out is completely, you know, not even a topic of discussion, but really like the fact that they played king queen like that is just so hilarious to me. But bro, who limp re-raises like 3x over 2 or 3 callers already with king queen suited there? I mean, anyway, sorry, I'm just like, I can't even raise here because I'm so baffled by their decision making process. But that's exactly what I was talking about. So if that didn't go to showdown, I was absolutely paying the money. Fucking that's just no. It's just a no. It's gonna be a no for me, dog. This right here is an absolute slam dunk. Yesosaurus Rex. Damn, bro. Why couldn't you just call that shit off? Sorry. I'm not calling my whole stack off with this, bro. But you know what? There's another one. I might check this, okay. Dude, 2213. There's no chance I'm ever doing anything other than flipping at best. And it's ace king like half the time. Like half the time it's ace king. And I'm flipping, I would say 30% of the time, and then it's aces and kings like the other 20%. But I'm just like never, ever good there is like the main thing. Like it's never ace jack. It's never like king queen, you know, the aforementioned. This is actually a really freaking goated turn card, bro, because now if someone's drawing with the ace X of clubs, we outkick that like almost always. So I want to shut the fuck up, dude. If I could turn that beep off, oh my god. That shit pisses me off so much, dude, because it's like, I know that it's ticking down. I don't need you to beep in my fucking face every single time, but I want to hear all the other sounds. I want to hear every other sound except for that one, and all you get is, do you want to play sounds? Yes or no? And it's like, anyway. We play here for the fish, bro, not for the quality of the site. But yeah, that's actually like, it's amazing how perfect that hand was, where it came into fruition almost exactly how we needed it to. If this person just didn't donk, luckily get the hand that they needed to stack off, we wouldn't have seen their cards, you know. And the way that they play their hand, dude, it's like, I mean, if it's not aces, it's really not ace king either. It's not king. Like, you're telling me that you really are just playing king queen suited that way, okay? And then you stack them a few hands later, you know, a few orbits later, whatever. Yeah. Like, that time I actually needed it. That time I needed it. I wasn't paying attention. All right. I am gonna try to start a new table because there's nothing here. I know I've had this empty table sitting here this whole time, but I've just had a lot to talk about, so I didn't want to overwhelm myself. Apologies for all of the, once again, timing down. I know that the beeping is annoying. Are we gonna overcall here or not? I mean, we're literally drawing to 2 outs, but 2 outs with a pretty big ass hand, and we hold the 6D, so we don't have to worry about the straight flush being a factor. It's basically like literally a little lotto ticket right there. Like, that's almost like a micro MTT. It's like we're just trying to hit, like, you know, pay one amount and hit a really big amount later. We might honestly have the best hand, the way that this is played out, hilariously enough. Gonna call it the JTS here. Definitely don't have the best hand. Definitely not the best hand. This is actually a really nice board. Check call and check raise are both on the table depending on what happens, you know, because we can check call bet. I'm sorry, check raise bet against deeper stacks. Check raise against even like a smaller stack that's just like stabbing, like, yeah, or we'll probably just check call here because this person's gonna probably overcall. And there's, well, yeah, no, our hand's not strong enough to like actually get a lot of money in, but it's a little too strong to fold just this one street. 10 BB. I was like, if he, this is basically what I was gonna say. Like, if he jams and he comes back over and we have to fold, it's like, what are we losing? It's like 10 BB, 9.5. Not gonna fold at this point, getting a million to one. And then like this pot's kind of protected too. Like we might actually get to see the river for pretty cheap, given like this guy's stack size. You know, given this guy's stack size, we might get to see the river for pretty cheap. And like unless he likes that turn and blows us off. Now we're just playing our raw equity at this point. Kind of funny. Okay, well we basically got a free price to hit. Oh, he has man, it'd be better if he had queen right there. I don't care that he has aces. I care that he had two of our outs that happen to be aces. It's like a bottle or something fell. Sorry, Zoey. That was weird. I don't know. I have a bunch of recycling stacked up, so I guess it's not that weird. See, like here we have to flat, right? Yeah, we can never fold that. But the solver would like yell at me so much for doing that. This is like a tough spot too, because I really want to keep this player in. Like I don't want to blow them out of the pot, so that's why we're gonna flat here. Whereas normally this is like a slam dunk 3-bet. We can check react. We can actually check raise small bets here. Oh, well, okay, never mind. I would say like small C bets from the PFR we can check raise. Because our hand doesn't mind getting blown off, plus we have some decent equity if called. Sorry, he calls. He's a straddler. We're going to check their stats. 25-20. It's kind of funny that you took position on me as a 25-20. Like, why? Why not just sit across the table like a logical adult? Like that's like what you like. So if you're starting tables and like there's another reg, like you sit across from them, fucking obviously, unless like I mean things that I can't believe need explaining today. But because you each like unless he's telling me that he thinks I'm efficient, he's gonna get the advantage on me. In which case, after you, friend. But he's basically giving me a good seat for when the fish sits in. Like he can't have position on them and I can. So okay, calling here. I guess call is probably fine. Yeah, he's a fish. I'm gonna barrel now. Pretty sizable. Oops. All right. We still had like the gutter. We had the overcard. 10 is like a good scare card. They probably don't have shit. I got him in raise. All right. 86%. You love to see it. 120 is a great number to call because this guy's like never 4-betting basically. You know, calling 120 the first time and then getting a chance to close the action. Basically, that's like a 99% call right there from that opponent. 79 cents. They're probably not betting ace high. They're probably betting queen X or worse. Could just be scare carding. Leading out into the field is very scary, low-key. Leading out in the field is very scary, not gonna lie. Oh my god, why don't I believe them? This is why I'm such a fucking fish, bro. Either they have queen X or they have absolutely nothing, and I just don't tend to believe people. But you know what? They could honestly be bluffing with a worse nothing, so that's why I'm gonna fold here. They could be bluffing with a worse nothing. Or with a better nothing, I should say. I'm sorry. Like they could be bluffing with like a 5 or a deuce or something. So I don't actually want to look them up there. But no, like I'm not trying to play heads up against a reg, so it would be more favorable for like someone to like that 80x%, I guess, left because I was taking too long or what have you. But they dropped in and then dropped out. Call is fine. Check fold is fine. 75%. Half a stack. Fold as fast as I can so this guy can get dealt in. It's like, come on, buddy. The water's warm. I would normally play that hand, obviously, but because I want this person to get dealt in right now, like I am, they gave me 10 right back on the button with my 10-8 offsuit. Is it even the same freaking cards? No. Same suits though, reverse on the cards though. That's funny. It's not really funny because numbers are numbers and they make no difference, but because I'm a simple-minded human, pattern matched, giggle. That is the depth of our species. Pattern match, brain go likey. Solver hates this phrase, but I like it. With the deuces. We're in the real world now. Nah, Solver hates small pairs from early position, mid position. Hates them because like you get 3-bet a lot, you can't 4-bet. You don't really have like the odds to set mine against good players slash in the GTO world. Like set mine just like isn't really like a thing until you're like super deep. And even then, like deuces aren't the hand that you're gonna set mine with, because then it's like reverse. Like either you don't have the odds to set mine, or you're too worried about reverse implied odds. But look at this, because I started a table, I get to play with a 42% and a 75% all by myself. Surprised that the other dude stayed and played me heads up when it was just me and him, and then he helps me find 2 fish, and then the fish come and he leaves. Like, what is, like, some people are honestly, they're just backwards, bro. They're completely backwards. Check call is fine. Check call is fine. It's a bit of a polarizing spot, you know, like when they bet the flop, because it's like, do you really have the king? This is a check call. I'm sorry, check fold check, I'd say. I'd like to see. I would like to see. He did have the king, okay. Alright. TX is fine, call is fine. I'm actually gonna go with the miniature raises because that's all I've been doing so far, and I don't want to like deviate. And then if someone does 3-bet, it's so much easier to I don't know, like represent, not overrep your hand. Basically, it's easier to not overrep your hand. Oh, you're gonna lead. We're gonna stack them this hand. Sorry, bro. Sorry, everybody else. Actually, we're gonna take all their money right now. Because they're gonna have an ace and they can't fold. Really, dude? No, dude, show me. There's no way you folded an ace. Okay. I was gonna say, if you folded an ace, bro, I'm gonna like shit my fucking pants right now. I'm going to. Okay, so we call. I want to donk this so bad, bro, because I feel like it's gonna get checked through when we have the best hand. Turns to be like a queen or some nonsense, and then we're not gonna have the best hand anymore. I can't fold, so we just call. And it's like 3-betting is a little overzealous. What a wonky hand, bro. Like, how do we win this pot? How do we realize our equity here? Check raising. That's about it. But like, we can't realize our equity without also simultaneously overexposing slash value owning ourselves. Like, it's really an impossible hand right now. Like, we're literally just check call hoping. Like, that's like our strategy, is to check call, hope that we don't lose. You know, like that turn didn't do us in probably, but this river certainly did. This river certainly did. Sometimes, and I apologize for this, guys, and this is why the thing is beeping so much today, and I'm taking a lot of time talking and thinking, is I need a second. Half the time when I'm talking about so many tables and a poker concept to like remember the actual action. Like in this hand here, I kind of forgot for a second. I was like, wait, was I the PFR or was he the PFR? Like I forgot that he opened and that I called with the ace-8 of diamonds. So apologies. Maybe I'll turn my turn my sounds down a little. All right, let's try to be faster and more focused and more in the moment. I'm trying to give commentary and play the game at a fast pace is pretty difficult, not gonna lie. But it's all good. So let's see what's like kind of happening right now in the games. Anything like really of note? Well, whenever there's nothing to really talk about directly, it's always a good idea to run a quick little fish report. So after do we want to call or raise? Call or raise? It's very close, out of position, 1 million players. We'll just call. We're going to bet big lead. I'd say $2. All right, fish report. All right, 67% right there. We've got 57% right there. We've got we're not doing very good on this table. This is the best. 39% is our best, and then 42%. So the bottom 2 tables we need to adjust, and then we'll kind of go from there. Call and a call, fold right there is fine. I could have overcalled, but I honestly don't want to hear the thing beep again. I'll bet again here. But again, let's try to get value from JX, try to get value from KX. This guy jams, we call. This guy jams, we shit our pants. I think we just bet all in for value against KX is like the play. JX folds, obviously. KX probably just doesn't like bet itself, and I want to get more value from that than I want to try and induce a bluff from JX, honestly. So it's like, you just pick your poison in that spot. Like, am I trying to value own a king, or am I going to try and induce a bluff from a jack? And you just decide which route you're going to go. I decided the way that I make those decisions personally is I think which outcome will happen that is least favorable on both sides. Excuse me, being if I check to him and he checked back a king, or if I bet into him and he folds a jack. Which one I prefer, you know, the least? Like, which one's going to hurt me more, basically? And I avoid that one. Right there, I did not want to check and have him check back a king. Like, that shit would have pissed me off. So I elected to go for the value bet route and not have him I didn't want to give him a chance to check back a king, you know? And because you also don't guarantee that they're going to bet the jack either. Like, there's no guarantee. Whereas I feel like the odds are higher of them calling the king than it is betting the jack. It's just when they have jack X and it's all they have, they're clearly never going to call your bet. So you can only make money from checking in that instance. But you also can only let king X off by checking. So I couldn't do that one. Missing value is like the cardinal sin of my world right now. Like, if I do that, then because that's the thing that's like the hardest to get. You know, it's easy to find a spot where you can like pick someone's bluff off, I would say, and you don't even need a strong hand to do it with. But to have a queen 10 hand right there, like a hand that's good enough to stack top pair, good kicker, and you know, get a crying call from other queen X hands, that's too valuable. That's too rare, and I can't let that fall by the wayside. Like, that would make me mad at myself from a player perspective, you know, like I would feel like I didn't give it my all if that happened right there. So that's kind of how I do it. I mistakenly, as I often do, took the blind on table number 4, but we will of course call here given the incredible odds that we're getting, but we will try to avoid the big blind on table number 3, given that they passed Fisher for it wasn't very good. I could play the queen unsuited, but I'm just going to fold given that we're looking for a new table. Check here is of course good. See if we can't jump into some pre-existing NL40 games. Would be nice. Starting tables is great when it works, but of course, as you saw, it also takes a little while, and it's sometimes a bit, you know, clunky. All right, we're gonna close down table 93, open up table 70. I kind of forgot the first one that I closed. Just looking for high V pips. Ooh, well, there we go. So we just had to switch seats, I suppose. So to switch seats on our last table, is that what it was? Or did this person just sit down? Okay. Sounds good to me. The 78%er just doubled up, and we have direct position on them. I like that. And then we're going to try and drop table 3 now. But yeah, I'm pretty sure I basically put a pin in it already, but in case I wasn't concise enough about it, don't pay for the time bank on the site. Like, the fact that it costs money is wild to begin with. Like, it's a time bank. You should allot people a moment to think if they need to, especially if they've been playing on the table. Like, I guess I can kind of see you start off with no time bank, but like, let people earn a time bank from playing the game. I mean, this site is very, very greedy when it comes to, like, you know, nickeling and diming people for things like that. I mean, the hand reveal feature is like insane. Like, that shouldn't even be a thing, but like, if you're gonna do it, like, give someone like a ticket. Like, you can use one a day, okay? You know, and call it your one time or something. Like, then it would almost be kind of fun. Oh, I use my one time. You know, I guess people attribute one time to something different, but you know what I mean. It could be your one time use thing though, because that has like already a solidified foundation in poker, just the concept of one time. So give people like a one-time daily use, in the way that they restrict my sit outs. Like, I can't sit out as many times as I want in a day, you know, so restrict that. Like, just make it a one-time use in a day. I think would be actually like kind of fun and funny. And then it would be more like, okay, then people would be like, okay, when am I going to use it today? It would be more of like a game of like, oh, it's like a power up that I'm going to use when I have it. And if you don't use it, you lose it. You don't roll them over, nothing like that. Obviously, like, everyone gets just one per day. And then it wouldn't be as busted, because the fact that you can just check on like any point in time is really crazy if you haven't checked it and it's so cheap. Yeah. Or here's what it should be: something like, it costs more and the cost goes to the player. How about that? House can take like 10% of it, but like, have the cost be like, instead of 2 BB, have it be like 10 BB, and then the cost goes to the player, not the house. Like, that I can actually see, because then you're paying them to show your hand. All right, if they have a playable hand here, we are going to destroy them right now. We're on the button. They raise like 3x, like, we didn't even have a full stack because I neglected the reload. Pardon me. But if they have something playable, it's going to be tough for them to win. Oh my god, sorry, bro. GG's. / good luck. GL to our opponent. And when I say good luck, dude, I genuinely do wish my opponent good luck. I'm not joking. And I'm not doing, excuse me, I'm not doing it as like some kind of like reverse curse type thing. If you can't find joy in the game when your opponents win, then you are completely missing the point. And what I mean by that is, of course, the point if poker is to win money. But the point isn't to win every dollar. Can't be stingy. Can't be greedy. You can't want all the money. Right there, what did we just get in? Aces versus jacks. But really break it down behind the scenes, run the ones and zeros. Really, what was that situation? It's just an 80-20. You don't get to win 100% of the time. You get to win 80% of the time. So your opponent does get to win mathematically 20% of the time. So good luck to our opponent. Like, we can't be greedy and stingy and want to win every single dollar, every single pot, and be so like, oh my god, I didn't win the pot. And it's like, no, man. Like, because when you have jacks there, you're gonna want to win your 20% of the time too. All right, and don't pretend like you're giving the pot back every time when you win. No, we're all keeping it. So good luck and mean it, and be sincerely happy when your opponent wins, because that's how the game of poker keeps going. If that never happened, we would be chess and no one would play, and we would all have to go do something else. And that's why I am genuinely thankful, or at the very least, when, say, like the human element of it overrides the financial element of it, I try to be thankful, and I tell myself to be thankful, and and wish them luck and such, and not be unappreciative of the outcome, even if it is unfavorable to me, because it's not like it was owed to me. Only 80% of it was owed to me. You never know when the 20% is going to happen. Just check fold here. And the main reason why I say that too, because obviously we're playing online. It doesn't mean anything to anyone other than my own personal mental health and well-being and happiness and whatever words you want to use to describe someone's mentality. But when you're playing live, I personally think it is very cordial to wish someone good luck against yourself in any one of those situations. So it's easy as hell. And it's not even, it's easier. It's easier. It's very easy to be a bad winner. It's very easy to be all braggadocious and to be like, I'm the man, I'm the best, yada yada. It's easy. It's harder to be a good winner, gracious and such. But it's very hard to be a good loser. All right, and like that's like really one of the best things that I think people can try to aspire to when you're trying to, I guess, like maybe reach that next level in the poker kind of socioeconomic sphere of, this is just like my position of, I'm not just here to grind and knit it up and take every dollar that I possibly can. I've done enough of that to where now I have to give a little back as well. Slight ambassadorship to the game itself as well. When a new player comes in, you try to be kind, you try to show them the way, all that kind of stuff, When you're finding your footing in the game, I don't blame anyone for taking everything that they can, because it's so hard and everyone's beating you up left and right. Forget the variance, dude. Like, you're getting just destroyed by better players, So, of course, I wouldn't expect anyone to give anyone any leeway when they're just starting out. But when you are, and I'm not saying even like slow play people or downplay people or like give them like an actual EV advantage. I just mean like dedicate some of your energy towards kindness, generosity to the table, to the mood, to the vibe, to the scene, like, for example, like, you guys have seen, I bring my little trinkets around now. You think when I was freaking in my 20s and just learning how to play live poker that I had the confidence to bring a bag of good luck charms to the table and like hand them out to people? No, I was scared out of my fucking mind, bro. I was scared shitless. The money meant so much to me. I was so inexperienced. Everything. We all feel it. Everything, But now that I've kind of gone through all that, it's like, okay, well, now here's my chance to give back. We got the Discord, we got the channel, we got this, we got what I'm doing right now, literally. Whereas like if you're just trying to get your footing, You know, don't worry about any of that shit. Just worry about getting your poker where it needs to be so that you can sustain yourself. It's kind of like that whole like get your mask on in the plane thing first, you know, get your oxygen situated first, then help other people. You can't help your kid if you're fucking dead, you know? You can't help your kid if you're passed out. So get your shit first, then help the next person, then help the next person, and do what you can. Do the best you can. That's literally what poker is, bro. It's like you're going through a plane crash and you're just doing your best. You're just trying to survive. And it's a fun plane crash, I guess. That's the only real reason to word why we do what we do. I was going to bounce from this table. And then I hit that hand, so I didn't bounce. But I'm going to bounce from this table. But now I'm going to bounce. I hate hitting and running, even though it's online. I will always give people like an orbit or so. I really will. Like, I don't like it. I try to be as honorable as I can. Giving back. Literally exactly fucking what I was just saying, bro. Just giving back, you know? Like, that right there is literally Eevee giving back. Like, I would have been bouncing from this table, but because I stacked this person or doubled through them, I didn't want to, like, just seem unappreciative. And, like, that, like, my name is right here, bro. My name is right here. It's the same name that I'm going to sign up for when I go to the Hustler tonight. They're going to see it's Alex Anthony here. It's going to be Alex A at the Hustler. I don't want, when people say, hey, is that you? Is that your channel that I've seen? Is that you? It's like, I don't want to be like, oh yeah, I've played with you. I've seen you hit people. Like, and I know it's not going to be the situation, but I just treat every situation the same. I don't care if it's live, online, whatever. Like, it's all one to me. It's all one thing. So, but we will leave now because I feel like we've given them adequate, you know, time. And none of that stuff is like, you don't got to do none of that stuff to be an actual, you know, poker player to win money. This and that. That's just like how I feel a human should be, you know. Doing only taking is very I don't know, not cool. And I get only taking when you need everything for yourself. Like when you're not sustainable and you're not like in a good place and you're not like doing, when the game itself isn't giving you enough, I get taking every chance you possibly can. But once again, when everyone gets to decide this from themselves, can we ever limp this shit, bro? I really think we probably can. And everyone gets to decide this for themselves. But when the game is giving you enough, then you can decide to give back. You know, when you've made enough money from poker, when you've learned enough from poker, when you've got enough life lessons from the game, I'm gonna fold the ace-9. I only wanted to over limp and see some cheap action here. I probably should just raise myself. Not solver approved here. Deuces under the gun. Not solver approved. Let's see. I think we can. I mean, hey, guess we're going into limping mode now. I think we can over limp here too. I think we can call that one, obviously. Gonna bet the 8-7. I did limp this one, but I'm gonna bet this one. Not the PFR. But we got the backdoor. We got the gutter. Absolutely calling here. Folding here. Folding here. Raised $4 is just too much, unfortunately. It's like, it's a very good price, honestly. Like, they made it a really good number that's almost like, hey, you can make a mistake here or you can make a mistake here. Especially because this person's in the pot, though. It's like, we're not winning this hand without improving. So it's like, based on like their action with this person, you know, wow, they actually folded. That's crazy. That's crazy because, I mean, I'm putting Nikki 77 on King X, like minimum King X. All right. I actually don't think we're going to play for too much longer, mainly because I have a lot of chores to do. And I also don't really want to make super long behind the grind videos. It's only when I am in the mood to play really long sessions. I'm no longer planning on cutting those sessions up. I am just going to give you the full session in one video. But that doesn't mean that every video that I make is going to be an hour plus long, although this one's already about an hour long. The only reason why I do like to include about 30 to 40 minutes of gameplay in every video, and because we started the first like 15 to 18 minutes off with talking and the GTO bot, I wanted to, you know, actually make this one worthy of some stuff. We'll min raise here. This is basically our last orbit around, so we'll give some action. Last orbits around, everybody. We are going to be unchecking the blinds when they come around to us on any given table next. So table 4 will be the first table that we leave. Even though we got the 78-9 right there. That should be the last table that we leave because it's the last one that we switched into. We'll play for like another orbit and a half-ish, I guess. 78-9, bro. Oh, it's hard to say no to that. It's hard to leave when I have that to my direct right. All these tables are like not like so bad in terms of like the players are so bad that I can't get up from him. This guy's pretty bad at 67. This guy's pretty bad at 78. So I think just go with the standard. Standard open. All right, maybe we'll go like a little extra overtime just because like these two tables here really are very, very bad. But I am going to cut the... I'm going to cut this table 3 at the very least. He would need King Jack to like really have me most of the time here. So I actually feel pretty decent about this hand. I'm just deciding, do I want to go XR overbet or XR overbet or normal bet? I think XR is great on this exact bet sizing. Okay, that was a snap shove that I don't love, but whatever, we're still calling, obviously. Nice hand. Nice hand. Let's see. Just too big. Too big, and we're not deep enough. Folding 40% of a royal flush is never a fun feeling, but what you gonna do? Min raise 6-6. I think go 4x-ish on the ace-6 is fine. We can call with the 6-6. We had to fold to their last 3-bet. This hand against like that player there, Nikki77, there's like really nothing to talk about in my opinion, other than I think check raise, other than bet flop is probably best because it allows you to get more money in when they bet, and it's such a draw heavy board they're going to bet so often. But of course we are going to be behind the set, straights, the 2-pair, all that good stuff. But they're also going to have queen X, they're going to have just flush draws, straight draws, all that stuff too. So I do not mind. Oh, okay, so real quick. Next hand would be our blind, so we are going to leave and fold. So I don't mind stacking off there, especially for sub 100 BB. You know, 100 BB, it's like, that kind of sucks. Get given on that flop. I may not against just a random that I know nothing about, but it's I mean, how many times can I talk about getting all in with top pair, top kicker / an overpair on a draw heavy board in small stakes to micro stakes games against loose players before it's like, you know, we all just get the point. And the point is you just do it. And sometimes you're going to be completely crushed, and that's okay. It's not a way ahead, way behind. It's like, that's not what that situation is. Because way ahead, way behind is basically like when you have, say, ace king on an a7 deuce and someone wants to get all in. And it's like, okay, well, either you have they have ace queen or ace jack and you're crushing them, or they have 7-7 deuce deuce, a7 ace deuce, and you're crushed. And that's way ahead, way behind. But like in that instance with the king, there's so many draws that they can have that we're like flipping against, basically, where it's not way ahead, way behind. There's quite a range of things, and there's also a big range of hands that they can have that we just dominate. So we have to kind of go with it. All right, here we're going to put a nice chunky 3-bet, try to get the action from the 78%er. Honestly, we don't even really care if this... We would honestly probably prefer them to fold, dude. They only have an 11% PFR. Yes, they are a 44% VPIP, but they are only 11% PFR, and they PFR'd right now. So really, this is the number we're looking at. Fuck this number. Like, that number doesn't make any difference. And we, of course, want them to call with all their nonsense. We're going to pretty much shove, like, every flop, you know? Like, what... I mean, except for the good ones. Except for the good ones. Oh, and the really, 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 really bad ones. Check react. How did we win that hand, bro? Oh my god, dude, breathes on the pot. Holy shit, that was like the worst board. I mean, what else? What do I say about that hand, dude? So the flop is just like so unbelievable. Like, I mean, dude, give me anything else. Give me like not a straight flop. Give me not monotone, and I think I can just jam there. SPR is like 1.3-ish. Turn card is like so up and down. It's like, okay, well, we paired our ace, but we also, you know, 4 to a flush now. So in the river, 4 to a straight, 4 to a flush, top pair somehow wins. Amazing. Turn card bad. But this is actually kind of one of those situations I was talking about earlier where if he checks the river, dude, he's got to be capped, bro. Right? But I'm probably getting snapped off sometimes here. What with my gut? What with my gut? My gut said he's probably capped here sometimes. Because, like, bad turn for, like, the actual flush coming in. You know, he's going to check call, have a lot of clubs in his range. But the jack is good. And then when he checks again on the river, king, you know, it's like, of course he could be inducing, but got to call here. Mandatory call here. Much nicer board. All right, so we have, like, a lot going on here. Of course, we have the open-ender, but the best part about our open-ender is the queen gives us the notch. We're only going to get one chance to draw, though. Oh, my gosh, we have good odds, though. Oh, my gosh, look at the odds. Look at the odds. Can never jam, unfortunately. It's a pain in the butt. Can't fold, right? I don't think we can fold here. Whatever. Nice hand. Like, we lose here so often. But it's just like, nice hand. Like, I genuinely feel bad sometimes. Like, sorry. But, like, that was just a math problem. Like, I just don't think I can fold there. I really don't. Gut shot, straight flush draw. I mean, 10x is out there for sure. So we have reverse implied equity. Didn't think the dude had 2 queens. That dude had, like, 3 of our outs, bro. No. Yeah. Yeah, 3 of our outs. We needed each queen. Well, I guess not. No, because once the board was paired, the queen wouldn't have helped us anymore against his exact hand. But him having 2, it's a weird situation where him having 2 of them, like him having 1 blocks it, but him having 2, it doesn't block it anymore because then it becomes his out, not mine. It's kind of funny to think about. Yeah, obviously we got lucky there, but also obviously it's like our hand was massive and the pot was like massive and the bet was not massive, so what can you really do? All I can really do there is think about the myriad of times that I've had the queens and that I've lost, and I can just think it's good to be on the winning side sometimes. We should end, though. Table 1 is now, you know, no bueno. It's just table 2 and table 4. Is it really table 4, though, if I don't have a table 3? Here, hold on a sec. All right, now it's a table 3. Fold, and we're pretty much gonna, yeah, we'll end on a pseudo high note. I mean, I'll give this table one more because, like I said, I don't like to hit and run. I don't like to hit and run. And because, of course, you know, they rebought too. So it's not like I'm just giving them the chance. You know, I am selfishly, obviously, as well, trying to win their money. You know, I'm not some fucking saint here, but I am still, I do want to quit right now. And I am giving, the reason why I'm not quitting is because I don't want to hit and run them. But I will also, of course, take more of their money while I'm here. Like, it's not like it's just a donation / charity. Yeah, it's fine. I'm thinking, like, can we double barrel with this amount? We can. I still prefer to. Ooh, actually, you know what? I lied. I do prefer to, and I prefer to go big. Yeah, I don't know why. It hit me. I was like, wait, they call a lot on the flop, they fold in the turn. When we just are naturally in this 3 monotone situation, you know, the 3 spade flop. I was like, I think I can 3-bet here for value. Really? Okay, we'll call. Check so I can snap check back. We'll call. React to the river. Nice hand either way. That's all I can really say. I didn't think it was an ace-5 value bet. I'm not going to lie. I did not picture an ace-5 value bet. Didn't think ace-5 would go for 2 streets. And I definitely thought that because he could have ace-5, that ace-4 and ace-3 were in his range as well. That's why I was like, nice hand. Because like he might just have 2 pair. Like that's one of those hands. Now this dude, I love hitting running players like that. Because they're not a guaranteed fish. They got some reg-ish tendencies, you know? Oh man, I'll hit and run a reg all fucking day. Oh, I love to hit and run a reg. Because I guess I'm an asshole deep down. But no, it's like I'm not like the regs are my adversaries. The regs are the pros who are, I mean, not pros. You know, we're playing in a fucking 40, obviously. But you know what I mean. Like anyone who plays with a professional mindset and who plays with a professional demeanor, attitude, skill set, really. Even if the finances aren't going to dictate a professional lifestyle, I'm not going to give the people who are also my competition mainly any breaks. Any breaks. I mean, you know, here and there, of course, but like not in that instance. I really considered betting the flop for backdoor flush potential, but I didn't, and then we got like the nut turn card. The actual nut turn card for barreling. Boop boop a doop, hurry the fuck up, please. Alright, last orbit on both tables. Snap check back, you win. GG. Yeah, we definitely would have been able to get them off that. Actually, probably. I say definitely, but it's like, bro, I say definitely, but how many times have we bet there and we get called down by the 8-7? How many times? In case there's anyone inexperienced watching, the answer is a lot. The answer is a lot. You get called by the 8 there a lot. Because some way, shape, or form, someone's going to talk themselves into, like, if they want to decide, oh, this person missed a draw, like, look at all the draws that they can decide that they missed. If they decide that they missed, you know, the spades, even if the hearts got there, it doesn't matter. They could say, oh, maybe they have like just a king and they miss their straight, or maybe they have just a 10 and they miss their straight. Like they're going to talk themselves into calling with the 8 if they want to call with the 8. That's like the main way to word it. And you don't know if they want to call with the 8 until you put the bet out there. And I simply was not willing to risk it. Especially last orbit. I've talked about this before as well. But I typically try to play a little more snug my last orbit. You're not going to gain any meta from anybody when playing last orbit. You know, if you ever were to try to play a GTO style, for lack of better terms, now's the time to do it. It's because you're not going to, there is no reason to deviate. There is no reason to try to exploit, aside from the max EV that you can get, if you are trying to do things for, say, a metagame purpose. You know, we tell people, I am here. Why do we do that? Because we want people to know, hey, we are a player who is willing to make big and ridiculous raises so that when we do it for value, we get paid, because that's the easiest way, in my personal opinion, to completely crush games, is to get into situations not where necessarily we have like the nuts and someone has the second nuts, but where you have a pretty good hand, someone has a, yeah, not that great of a hand, but they just can't fold it. But they just can't fold it, like the 8-7 up there. You know, like if we had a decent hand and like say we do hit the spade on the river, oh my god, we go for huge value, and sometimes you get called by a pair of 8s. You always get called by a pair of aces, and you know, pair of jacks too. You know, it kind of falls in line with the pair of 8s. Like if they're a bluff catchy kind of person, they're gonna catch with the 8 and the jack, obviously. So there's a lot of ways to win money in this game. Some people have a more, it's kind of funny, I was gonna say some people have like a more red line oriented style, which means like, you know, they're really betting and bluffing a lot more. And I inadvertently ended up, like, I mean, I used to have like, I mean, I'm guessing my red line still isn't that great, but I used to have a horrible red line. And in case you guys are not curious what red line means, it's your non-showdown winnings. It's how much money you win with the pot not actually going to showdown. Blue line winnings are showdown winnings. Red line winnings are non-showdown winnings. And to be a complete poker player, you typically want to kind of like be doing decent in both. But you can, of course, be a crusher by only having a good red line or a good blue line. And all I was going to really get at is like my red line has improved by virtue of simply value betting more aggressively and more thinly, because people just fold to me on the river a lot now. And I'm like, oh, wait a minute. This is a spot where I used to check back and go to showdown, and that money would go into my showdown winnings. But now I'm betting it more often. People are folding more often. And as a result, I'm getting more non-showdown winnings, even though I'm bluffing at like a very similar frequency. Probably more for sure. But like, just it's not just where your red line comes from. It's just from bluffing. It can come from just playing really aggressively and really good and thin value, even against players like this. You know, it used to be a very common like misconception, I guess you can say at this point, that playing against fishy players was hard to have a red line be positive because they call so much. But now I'm seeing and understanding how untrue that is and how bad I used to be because of how thin I could have been value betting this whole time and like really trusting the bet fold. Just trust the bet fold, trust the bet fold. But yeah, that will be it for today. Thank you all so much. Love you all, and we will see you on the next one and in the Discord. Hop in and we'll talk in there about some stuff, and you'll be notified for videos and all that good stuff. But yeah, thank you. Love you. Bye-bye. Sorry, my second edit ever. I keep forgetting. Where do we end? 47.17. So we made a little bit today. We made a couple buy-ins. We made a few or 2 buy-ins or like a buy-in and a half, something like that. Like a buy-in and a half. But yeah, I forgot to include that. Sorry. All right, thank you.